You're listening to Treats from the Store, the podcast where people from Ascension Parish and the surrounding areas discuss real topics. This episode is sponsored by 180 Pros, Preferred Loans, and Kiss and Makeup Full Service Studio. Sitting with me today is Mel Vega, my boy Greg the Goon, and Stephen Scuba Allain.
What's up? What's up?
Well, hello, everyone. I am Mel Vega. I'm actually Melissa, but everyone calls me Mel. And a little bit about me, because I think I'm going to be a little bit different than maybe some of the other people in this room with me today, is I was born in the Bronx, New York, and I grew up in the Pocono Mountains in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. I migrated down south to Biloxi in about 2012, and it'll be 5 years next month that I've been in Ascension Parish. And I was born in 1978, so I got to experience the entire 90s from the ages of 11 to 21. And my perspective might just be a little bit different on some things because I grew up in the Northeast. Thanks for having me.
Greg the Goon. I'm a rapper, producer, and I'm also from Ascension Parish, like Mark and Mr. Scuba here. And I'm an avid fan of music in general. So I hope my input, is good.
And I am Scuba, Stephen Allain, go by Scuba. Lifelong resident of Ascension Parish, and grew up, born in the 80s, 1980. So I grew up around 90s music. And I'm excited to do this and meet you guys and see where we go.
My name is Andui Babin. I was born in 1980. Been in Ascension Parish since 1983. My parent, I was born at the Women's Hospital back in the old one, and then my parents lived there for about 3 years and moved us over here on some family land. And just like Steven, I'm an 80s baby. I didn't listen to a lot of music that wasn't on the radio because my parents just didn't buy a lot of young music. I listened to a lot of Chicago and the Eagles and Bread and all that old shit that they liked. Ray Stevens was on and on at the house. That was about all I got. So I didn't listen to it, and I didn't buy a lot of CDs as a teenager. So I mainly just heard whatever was on the radio, and that was about it. And because we didn't have the internet, I had no idea who the hell was singing the songs on the radio. So
fair enough. All right, Mark, so if it's cool, before we dive in, since we're all here to talk about it, I am curious to know where everyone's love of music began.
Mine began, my mom had one of those big stereo systems in the living room, and she had, I think it was the 69 boys, Cotton Candy, Sweet as Gold, Let Me See That Tootsie Roll. So me and my siblings, we used to always gather around that and, do the Tootsie Roll. That sounds bad. We might take that off.
That is awesome.
he needs the dance.
Yeah.
My earliest memories, I can remember my grandma having a stereo at her house that I actually inherited. I don't have it anymore, but I was a big Michael Jackson fan growing up. So, Beat It, Bad, Thriller, all of those. I can remember that. Remember having the sequin glove.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and also I can remember. Was it Bob Seger? Old Time Rock and Roll. That, for whatever reason, that was big for me too. I danced to that and lip sync in the talent show at school.
Okay.
So music has been as far back as I can remember. I've enjoyed different types of music.
Very nice.
Music as a science I picked up from school. I played the trumpet starting in the 5th grade, and the mechanics of music, beats and measures and so forth, I picked up from all that. And now I can listen to regular music with more of a technical, like an insight on it. But growing up, I mainly listened to, like I said, whatever my parents listened to. We listened to a lot, Saturday in the Park. I think it was the 4th of July, that kind of bullshit. So, and we had a record player. So, it was just the 70s and so forth. And my dad listened to a lot of classic rock. I guess it wasn't classic rock then, but it was, what we would call 98.1 today. It was in the car. I think it was 92.3 back then, WCKW. My dad would just have that on repeat all the time. My mom didn't really listen to nothing because she didn't really work. She was just in the house watching soap opera. So whatever my dad listened to, that was what I listened to. And the first band that I don't want to say band, but the first group I was a fan of was the New Kids on the Block, because back in 89 and 90, they were just top of the world. Everyone was a New Kids on the Block fan. Like, it sounds kind of gay now when I say it. But
No.
I was but we all were girls, boys, everybody. We
Yeah,
all loved the
that's
New
not
Kids
good.
on the Block.
I had a New Kids on the Block poster.
So did I.
Hey, you can remember when the Coke van would come to the school. I don't know if it happened, but
No.
the Coke van come to the school and had a big TV in there, and they would open up and it was playing New Kids on the Block. I don't know if that. I can remember that at primary school.
I mentioned this
Oh,
on
wow.
a previous episode, but the big thing with the New Kids on the Block, if you were cool, you had the buttons, and they didn't just make little shirt buttons. They had big 6-inch, 8-inch wide buttons with like one of the kids on it or the group or whatever. And you was a bad motherfucker if you had like on your backpack, on your JanSport backpack, if you had one of those big ass buttons, and they were like $6 a piece, which was. Think about like 20 now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my mom didn't buy none of that shit, and we didn't have no money. So I wasn't as cool because I didn't have the buttons.
Didn't have the buttons.
But man, I knew all their music. That was the first band I was a big fan of.
I never had one of those big buttons.
I tried to listen to their music now, and it does not age well. It is so cheaply produced and like keyboarded, and it's so bad and so cheesy, and the lyrics are just. I love you, girl. I love you from heaven up above. And it's just the laziest rhyming you ever heard, but it made some money for them, so whatever.
It made a lot of money for them. It was very catchy, and like you said, everybody liked it.
The right stuff.
Ooh.
I don't
Yeah,
know
you
how
were-
many of them are still even performing. I know
They've
one
tried
of them
to
does,
they've tried to regroup the band about 3 times now,
Yeah.
and they keep doing it for nostalgia money, and it's
and they still got the fans from
Yeah.
back then, so that happens. But
the next topic I wanted to talk about was physical media, cassette tapes, CDs, binders, shit like that, because now it feels like music doesn't mean anything. When your favorite artist comes out with an album, you just pop it up on your phone, listen to it in your car. You listen to a few songs, you're like, yeah, this is all right. I'll wait for the next one. Let's see it. This is okay. Even if you like it, you're not going to listen to it just religiously over and over and over like you did when you bought it and you had it in your hand and you're like, I paid $20 for this CD. I'm going to listen to this bitch till it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Because I
you
own
said,
this.
you said you want to go back to cassettes. I mean, before you bought it, when you were sitting there listening to the radio on a Saturday night, hitting the record button,
And
trying
yeah.
to get your favorite
yeah.
songs.
Hoping you don't get the DJ talking.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And see, you want to know what it is? Because of that lack of tangible goods, like you were saying, nobody really cares anymore. It was an experience to go to the store, buy the CD.
Oh, yeah.
Once you got the CD, you opened up the CD, you seen the little inside.
Oh, yeah.
You
who
read the
wrote
whole
song.
It might have
insert.
lyrics.
Yep.
Lyrics. Yep.
Definitely.
So it's not a big secret. I'm an insane Clown Posse fan. So when they would make their albums, they would put work into it. It would be a whole presentation. There was a character on the cover. The entire album was about that character. It had an intro that would. It would be like kind of a skit, or whatever, that would welcome you to the CD. And then you had the main banger of a song at the beginning. Then you would have the ups and downs. And they'd have the songs. Every artist does this in a particular order. The highs and the lows. And you had something real heavy. And then you'd listen to something mellow at the end. And then it would close out with a real beautiful tearjerker song. And then it would have an outro. Albums used to be put together like that. And then all the packaging, it was all an experience. And it feels like now it's just a collection of songs. They just it don't mean nothing no more.
I don't even listen to the whole album anymore. I just listen to those couple popular songs.
Because it's not an experience no more. Like if you look at like Pink Floyd albums and albums like that, like it was deep. Like everything was deep. There was a theme. There was merch. There was a lot of things that went with it that made you like the album. And not just that, we don't have pop culture anymore. Like I can guarantee you right now, everybody's music, we might all still be listening to old stuff, but everybody's music's different. We don't have MTV. We don't have BET. We don't have those things that used to bring us together as a collective to make us enjoy and love
Speaking of
music.
that, the thing about the 90s is that everyone knew the same famous people at the same time. There wasn't a motherfucker on earth who didn't know who Tom Hanks was or Jerry Seinfeld,
Downtown Julie
Kid
Brown.
Rock, or whoever. And now, who's the famous people? My kids, their famous people are YouTubers. But then you go to the next family's kids, and their YouTubers are different people. No one has the same
Star
everyone
power.
on Earth anymore. Like, who's famous now?
That's
Mr. Beast?
because of the introduction of social media. I mean,
Right.
You didn't have that, so you only had the people on the movies or the the radio.
It used to be the most famous person in town was the guy on the news or whatever, and I guarantee no one knows.
Jay Grimes.
Yeah, and now who's the most famous person in this area? And not me, you know what I'm saying, but like Bootsy or whatever. Like, who's the famous person in this area? Like, you would say this is definitely the most famous person in Baton Rouge or whatever. We don't have that anymore. Well, like, if you want to have like the biggest name in this area, this tri-parish, whatever area, you're like, I'm gonna have them on a guest, or I'm gonna make a meme about them. I want them on my show. Who do you go to? Who's the famous person? Yeah. Some Instagrammer? I don't know.
Well,
it's probably an influencer.
There is none, because there's no star power anymore. Think about this. Whoever thinks they famous now, or Instagram famous, or social media famous, you know everything about them. Like when you were dealing with the stars back then, like Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, people like that, you didn't see what they ate for breakfast. Mm-hmm. You didn't know what they did all throughout the day. Like Prince and Michael Jackson, these people had like a mysteriousness to them.
Yes, I was about to say
star power.
So when you saw anything, it was amazing.
Right. Or if you ran into them, you would get excited. Like if you ran into Mystical in the 90s, you, oh my God, I saw Mystical. Oh my God, I saw Master.
I still did that. I ran into him at Tiger Mart on 73.
That's
but
right.
Now, if you was to run into those same people now, you wouldn't be excited because you see them all day on social media and you feel like you know them.
So I'm gonna derail this. Wrestling is the same way now, because it used to be wrestlers stayed in character. They were only seen at wrestling events, and then that's all you knew. You knew nothing about them. And now they're everywhere. They're talking to the audience on their social media. They ran a program called Unreal, where it literally exposes the characters and the in the back room. All right, you're gonna pretend to call this guy or whatever, and it's a good show, but it ruins like you said, the mysterious of these celebrities. And like when a lot of I thought so highly of Shaquille O'Neal and his intelligence, and then when I seen him tweet and he misspelled like 8 words, I'm like, what? So yeah, seeing these people for real and out of their star character, it takes a lot out of the amazingness of them.
Yeah, because you get constant doses of it that you used to not.
I used to love going to the grocery store and seeing like the Star or the Inquirer and get all excited about the celeb gossip. Right. Yeah, now it's everywhere. We don't get that same fulfillment.
Nope.
Anyone else have a binder of CDs? And
I still have a binder of CDs. Okay. Still have it.
And you try to flip through them while you was driving?
Oh yeah. No, well, I mean, I can remember having the case that you would put the whole CD in and zip through and flip through and find what you wanted to put in.
If you was a bad motherfucker, you had a car CD player that could handle multiple discs, and you would switch.
I had one of the cars I had a 6-disc changer, but it was originally in the trunk, so which made no sense because you had to put 6 CDs in and then stop.
They were on rotate.
but I rewired it and put it inside so I could make changes more often.
Back to what I was saying about the presentation of the albums, there were a lot of artists that, if you listen past the last track, you'd have so let's say a CD was 69 minutes long, but it only took 59 minutes of music. They would, after the last song ended, most people would just end it. But if you just sat through 10 minutes of silence, there was a hidden track.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then I don't think that's a thing anymore, awesome. Because you could just literally go straight to that file and you'll see the timeline. Hey, it was 12 minutes long, and then you would just skip ahead and go straight to it, and it doesn't do that anymore. So also, there were physical CD cases, and ICP did this a lot, where the plastic where you would pop the CD off and on, you could pop that entire thing up, and you'd see the back picture, and then there was a secret behind that shit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not everybody did that, but but they would take that kind of work into the case for people who would dig and whatever, and there was secrets, and it was cool, and you don't see that anymore.
Well, just in general though, we talking about the back and everything else, but the album covers are huge. Art. With the artists and what they put on the very front.
Yeah. The Metallica first 5 albums, they were all beautifully painted albums with a political message and whatever, and they paid a guy God knows how much money because it mattered. It was such a big deal. And if you look at like Michael Jackson's Dangerous cover, where it's his eyes and there's a carnival and there's a guy holding a fish or some shit, it's secret messages all over that shit. And now the only thing that album cover is just the art on the MP3 play on your Spotify, and you don't zoom in and look at all that shit. You just that's a picture of Kendrick on his car. That's it. It doesn't mean nothing no more.
No tangible goods, no pop culture. That's really the problem. And then, like with a lot of those labels, they don't have artist development anymore. think about this artist. Whenever you watch MTV or BET, this artist was pushed in front of you.
Yeah.
And then everybody had to listen to the same artist.
Oh, yeah.
We all tuned in, we all watched. So then when you go to school, it's a conversation about that artist. There's no artist like that anymore.
And it was who the television shows wanted us to talk
And the
about,
radio.
who they wanted to be in the spotlight. Exactly. So they were really shoving it down our throats, and we
Right.
just didn't realize it because we were kids.
My son Brady watched a YouTube. It was like the top 10 albums of the year. And Kendrick was one of them. And then there was like 9 people I never heard of. I'm like, how are these people the 9th? I mean, I think Taylor Swift was on there, of course. But it was like 8 of those I never heard of. And I'm like, how the fuck are these the most 8 most popular musicians in the world right now? And I know 2 of them. Now, granted, I'm old. I'm not hip like I used to be with young music, whatever. But back in the day, you didn't have to be a Garth Brooks fan to have heard of him.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
He was all over.
So it's so diverse. The fact that anyone can make music now and it's so easy, it's a rapper is a dime a dozen now. Like anyone who can put clicks on beats 2 and 4 can make a country song now. Or you can just AI some music and it don't mean nothing when everyone can do it so easily. The talent is gone.
Right.
It's spread so thin.
And then those who are talented, nobody wants to hear them.
They're
'cause
buried
they don't
under
have the
a million-
attention span to listen to them.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
my son-
buried under a million artists of bullshit. That how do you find the good ones?
Yeah.
You don't.
My son and I get into that debate when what he listens to versus what I used to listen to. And I'm like, the lyrics are. He's like, wait, no, listen to this, listen to this. This has meaning. I said it doesn't. Oh.
Don't get me started on mumble rap. 'Cause, boy, let me tell you something. All right.
Well, my daughter has been listening to 90s rock, so I thought that's pretty cool. And her bestie has been listening to 90s alternative. So I'm like, okay, I like to see that. You know, my girl's like, if they're not screaming, I don't want it. And I'm like, you're so different from me, but okay. So yeah, some of the things I got, like even before, CDs, yes, that whole experience of going to the mall and getting the CDs, but I remember buying cassette tapes and I was a teenager. I didn't have a lot of money, so I was buying singles. So it's like one song on one side and one song,
Yep.
the
Yeah,
same
the A
song
and
on
B
the other
side,
side, and they would like change it up a little bit. So that was wild. And I remember a big thing for me, I was in, I want to say 9th grade. I was 15. Yeah, I just turned 15. It was my 15th birthday. And I wanted a Discman. And I got a Discman for my birthday. And that was huge to get
Did
a
it have
Discman.
anti-skip? That was the shit.
It didn't skip, so it must have. My mom and my dad, they knew that I liked nice things, so they always kind of took care of me in that department. But I will tell you that I lost it on a Girl Scout trip to Atlanta a couple weeks after I got it. Yeah, it wasn't good. And I was so upset. I probably shed some tears. And my mom replaced it and told me, don't tell your father. And to this day, my dad does not know that mom replaced that. So I thought that was video.
Anybody had a Teddy Ruxpin?
Yeah,
I remember it. I didn't have one, but I do remember it.
What are you talking about?
And he would move his mouth to the words and shit and blink and everything.
You remember the CD player that you plugged the cassette into the aux port to
Oh,
play
yes.
CDs over the radio? You put the cassette in.
Yes, I had those in my vehicle because I didn't have CDs in
You
my
didn't
car
have a
for
CD
while.
player. You couldn't
Right.
afford the aftermarket one, so you had your portable CD player. Plug it in through the cassette. People don't know. They don't.
They
this
don't
day and
know.
age, like you
Well,
said,
my-
it's just on their phone. Apple CarPlay.
But okay, so here's the thing. So my kid's learning, right? She's 16. We were talking before, Scuba. She's about to be a junior at Santa Monica. And she got her license this past Friday, and she got a car about a month ago. And when I got into the car and I went to connect my phone, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get her, I have to get her the screen. I got to get her the CarPlay. I got to get her the rear camera. It's a 2012 Sentra, so it doesn't have any of that stuff. So I had to go down to Walmart in Perryville and buy myself an aux cord so I can plug up my phone.
That's dope.
So she's living the 90s right now in her vehicle.
So look, and that's another thing too, man. Music not as deep because there's no experiences no more either. Like think about this: we all had house phones, and when you went out and you met a chick, you had to actually approach her and talk to her. There wasn't no social media. She didn't know you prior. You had to call the phone. The parents had to answer. I'm saying all that to say this: with the experiences being different, the artists are not as deep. because they don't have as much to talk about. Like in the gangster 90s, like when I was growing up in the 90s, I saw some gangster shit. Like
I see what
gangsters
you're
are not
talking about.
gangsters no more.
Right.
Like I walked up on people cooking crack and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really do none
So
of that
their
no more.
rhymes, their stories, they don't have enough
Right.
to put into it because everything's so cushy.
And it's
Right.
formulaic. You can easily write a country song if you just take like 7 or 8 things that are in every country song and just write one. You don't have to have done any of it.
Right. And
Which
then
is why I don't like Luke Bryan.
Yeah, there you go.
Luke Bryan will never be deep as Dolly Parton. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
fair.
Dolly's deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Certain country people, Johnny Cash, he deep.
Yeah.
He shot a man in Reno just to
Watch him die. That's right.
Yeah, people are different now because they don't have the same experiences.
Yeah, that's my favorite genre, country. I think everyone knows that.
Yes.
Like I feel so sorry for kids nowadays. Like your daughter's one of the few that's getting to experience that 90s experience. But a lot of these kids, they don't really get to know chivalry. They don't really get to know star power. They don't really get to know what real gangster stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't get to know what that is. Like and these artists, they're manufactured and packaged by the label. They're not even real. They don't even know who they are.
Now, I will say when my kids get to experience some, like I've coached basketball for over 18 years, and both my boys played. So one of the things we played every time on the way to a game was "Eye of the Tiger." That was the
Oh,
song.
it hypes you up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the song to pump us up before the game. But when we've gone on vacations and stuff, though, my wife and I, and especially if we're with a friend our age, we'll crank up some of the stuff we used to listen to in high school, and it's funny to see my kids' reaction to, like, because we're all sitting there singing it just like it was the other day. You know?
Right. That's awesome.
And it's definitely different. But being on a high school campus and some of the stuff now, it is funny though. Every once in a while, when they'll pull up, like I was at a basketball practice last year during third block, and the coach was playing some Green Day, and the kids were jamming out to it, and I was like, this is awesome. You know?
So there's a lot of TikToks and stuff that have old music in them, and kids will learn the old songs through TikTok background music. So you'd be surprised how many young kids know 3 ICP songs because it trended and everybody made videos to that one song.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I got a hot take here. All right, so I think the problem with music now is that every genre, pick one, it's born, and then you have some new people kind of laying the foundation, and then you get a couple of people who are just prodigies at it, and then everyone's that good, and it peaks, it gets as good as it can get, and then it just kind of pisses off because now what do? You look at like rap. Now when it started, you had Ice Cube rapping in 4/4, only rhyming the last syllable only. You couldn't get away with that now. And then it got better and better throughout the 90s, and then you got people like Eminem just destroying the dictionary and some of these technical rappers, and it got as good as you can possibly fit syllables into a word or whatever. And then what do you do from there? No one's going to beat that. So people say that mumble rap was invented because rap had to change because it got so technically good that they had to take another direction or it just got stale. And I think, like, I say the same with country. Country was what everyone who loves country says the older stuff was better. If you ask somebody today, 90s country was the best. But in the 90s, people said, no, the 70s country was the best. And I guarantee in the 70s, the Hank Williams back in the day, that was the best. So I think, especially country, in the 90s, it got real big with line dancing and the pop crossovers and Garth and Shania and Alan Jackson and all these and Chattahoochee and whatever. It got real big, and then it's kind of manufactured and formulaic now. And I think that happens to damn near every genre, where it gets as good as it can possibly get, and then what happens, unless people keep innovating, it just goes to shit, and then I don't know.
I think it's the business and hurting it. I think it's the labels. Like, they try to go off a winning formula for everything now.
Mm-hmm. And you can't.
They don't let the artists be artists anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real creativity. And then, like, it goes back to experiences. What do they really have to talk about? What is really the depth? Because nowadays, we just in a shallow day and time. Like,
what's an artist that's put out something new that was something new? Like when Korn, for example, they were the first people to come up with that heavy-ass bass metal like that, and it shocked everybody. And then you came out with, like, Kid Rock, who came with, like, rap over metal and shit like that, and Limp Bizkit brought that big. And then you had just rappers that did something new. And when was the last time an artist did something innovative that shook the genre or whatever. You know what I mean?
What's old boy name that sing $1 Million Baby? $1 Million Baby to me was Tommy Richmond.
Tommy Richmond.
I ain't never represented, baby. Like,
But then have you heard of him?
Gregory?
Have you,
Huh?
You have a nice voice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
have you heard of it? I mean, like he made that guy that went big. He made one other song after that. I mean, I know he's made other songs, but he made another song after that was pretty popular, not as much. And then
the label just kind of was like, okay, let's move on to something else. We're not going to keep pushing this.
you don't hear. And there's people that like on social media that I get on, like OMG the Vet. I don't know if you've heard of OMG the Vet, but I enjoy his content because he'll take beats and he'll rap over them. And I mean, I feel like it has it because he's old school.
Okay.
But doing something in a new school, like, you know, on TikTok, on a new school platform. But look him up, OMG the Vet. I think he, you know, but I think that's what happens, though. Once people get popular, then they kind of,
Everybody tries to do it.
yeah, and then it just kind of
Definitely.
disappears or gets until the
diluted.
next, because then the next person's got to do something
You
different.
look at Stevie Wonder when he was doing what he was doing. Nobody was doing that. Elton John, nobody was doing that.
No.
Prince, whatever. Michael Jackson, they were all the first guy to do that shit. And it was something original, and everybody listened to it like, oh, you hear this shit? This is amazing.
Yeah.
Man. But who's doing that now?
Well, everything's based off trends now too. So can't nothing stay around too long. Like Michael Jackson, had 3-4 decades as a performer.
Yeah.
Can't nobody do that no more. People's attention span. We're tired of hearing
Very
him.
short.
We're tired of seeing him.
Yeah.
Like people's attention span are not the same.
And I feel like so many things have just been done. I mean, what do you keep doing? When
Yeah,
you,
what's
how
the
do you
new
come up
genre to
with-
come up? What's the new music?
Right.
That's a new type of music that's
But
going
I
to come
think
out.
that's part of it is the music not having that depth. Because if it's something that's good that speaks to you in some form or fashion, then it doesn't have to be new if you can actually connect with it. And I think that's the biggest thing.
I caught myself on some weirdo shit about a week ago. Me and my old lady was looking for something to watch on the TV, you know, like on the streaming services. So you have so many different options of movies now, right?
Yep.
So I was like, when was the last time we watched something twice? Because every night we sit there and we just scrolling and scrolling. We got to find us a new movie.
It used to be every movie meant something.
Yeah, and not
that's-
just that.
yeah.
When you had DVDs and you watched cable, you would watch the same thing and be content.
Oh, I hate
that.
watching
Just
the
go to
same
show
thing
you,
twice.
like, even us as the consumer, we got it bad. Like, we don't realize it, but
There's so much shit, it doesn't mean anything. It's all watered down.
right,
And so
It's-
stretched so
everything
thin.
is too easily accessible now to us.
That goes back to what I was saying about everyone knew about the movie Titanic or whatever, and now movies are just in the Netflix menu. You just pass them up. You never heard of them. And it used to be when a movie came out, you saw posters, you saw commercials, it was a big
You
deal.
went
Everyone
to
was
the
talking about it.
movies.
And now a big movie could go by, you never heard of it. It passed you by. You never even saw it because it was just in the Netflix menu, and you clicked right too many times, and you missed the movie.
That's what I like. I like to look for the weird ones.
That's good.
I like
something
to-
different.
All right, this episode is brought to you by 180 Pros. If your business needs IT support that feels more like a partnership than a transaction, 180 Pros is worth knowing. They provide managed IT, cybersecurity, cloud services, and consulting for businesses that want dependable support and a team that actually stays engaged. 180 Pros is built around responsive service, clear communication, and helping clients feel supported every step of the way. To learn more, check out 180pros.com, 180pros.com, partner, not provider. If you need a little cash for home projects, unexpected expenses, or whatever life throws your way, Preferred Loans has you covered. They can get you what you need to help with personal loans, auto loans, and more. They've got friendly local service and the sweetest, most playful dog you'll ever meet. I think her name is Millie. Proudly serving our community since 2005, they're here to help. Stop by their office on the corner of Roddy and Bayou Narcisse and Gonzales, or apply online today at preferredloans.org. That's Preferred Loans, 225-644-0304. Do you remember Shanna Babin?
Mm-hmm.
She runs that.
Yep.
And her daughter Jordan. And they have a big old, it's the cutest goddamn dog. Every time I go in there, I pop my head up like, hey, and I fuck with that dog. And she gets all excited. So they'll let me go behind the little gate, and they have like a big island, and we'll run around it. And I'll sit on the island and confuse the dog. And I'll go in there and fuck with that dog for 30 minutes, and she loves it. And now I think when I go in there, she actually knows who I am and gets all worked up. Anyway. Kiss and Makeup Full Service Studio has been proudly serving Gonzales and the surrounding areas since opening in June 2017. The studio offers a full range of professional beauty services, including makeup, hairstyling, color, waxing, airbrush tanning, facials, and more. Founded by Sarah Bess Brown, Kiss and Makeup was created as a place where clients can feel welcomed, heard, and confident from the moment they walk in. Over the years, the studio has grown into a trusted beauty destination for everything from prom and homecoming glam to brides and full wedding parties. The team is known for listening closely to each client's vision and helping bring it to life with care, creativity, and attention to detail. The studio has also been recognized with numerous awards, including Best Salon in the area, along with honors celebrating its makeup artistry, leadership, and client experience. With a warm atmosphere and a passion for helping people look and feel their best, Kiss and Makeup continues to be a go-to studio for special occasions and everyday beauty needs. They're located at 38011 Highway 621, Suite B, next to Hutch's Ace Hardware. And you can find them on Facebook at Kiss and Makeup Full Service Studio. Give Sarah Bess a call at 225-677-0506 and find their website at kissstudio.co. I just want to point out that Preferred Loans phone number ended with 0304 and Kiss and Makeup ends with 0506. And I love mathematical coincidences. So all right, let's talk about Michael Jackson.
Oh, my man.
Nobody had a chokehold on the entire world like Michael Jackson. Did y'all see when he did a halftime show?
Oh, yeah.
And he popped up from the stage, and it's a 5-minute video of him not doing anything. He stands there, and it's a full minute of cheering. And then he goes, looks to the right, and then another minute of cheering. And then he looks to the left, another minute of cheering. It's a 5-minute video. That's how
Michael
popular
could get away with that.
He was the most popular person on earth, period. And I don't think anyone ever reached that again.
No, I don't think anyone will reach that either.
No. And you want to know what was the key to Mike's success besides his work ethic? Mike had
his dad on his ass.
That too. but you watched Mike from 10 years old to 50. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, you felt like you knew Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's not one Mike album that didn't have a song that you resonated with. Even from, like, the Jackson 5 to Dead Mike. Like, there was not one Mike album. I bet you can name a song off every Mike album. And there was a number one on every single Mike album. Like, nobody's ever going to do that again.
20 number one singles. I was at a trivia night a while back, and it was like, name 10 of them. And I'm naming every Michael Jackson song I know, and I got most of them wrong. This dude had so many songs that were just bombs, you know what I mean? Like, just...
The Thriller album alone, 75% of that album went number one in singles.
Right.
The Thriller album alone.
Yeah. I think it's still the most sold album of all time across all genres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thriller had Beat It, PYT.
Tell you what, Beat It.
PYT, I just wrote that down.
Was
Billie Jean on that?
Billie Jean. Billie Jean, Beat It, PYT.
Pretty young thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had...
That's one of my favorite
I still
Michael
listen to
songs,
that.
PYT.
Everybody, look, I got a joke that I crack with my aunts, man. Every time PYT come on, they like all like 60 years old, and they jump up, oh, that's my jam. You are not a PYT anymore. Sit your ass down.
That's a
so
POT.
Yeah, you are OAT. You an old ass thing. I'm just playing.
Pretty classic thing.
So I had a lot of the Guitar Hero games back in the day.
Oh, I love
And I had
Guitar
number 4. It was called World Tour or something like that. And they had Michael Jackson Beat It. I said, a little pop song like that, I would fuck with that one. And then I got to that damn guitar solo, and oh my god,
that Van Halen guitar solo.
Oh yes, sir.
Do you know they say Eddie Van Halen set the speakers on fire in the studio that day?
Really?
So he set the speakers on fire.
Well, you're jumping around, but that's okay. So, let's see here. All right, so you glazed all over New Kids on the Block. I don't know, were you
Please
guys
don't phrase it like that.
glazed over?
Pause. Do y'all do pause?
Let's pause.
So, like, every time somebody say something, and I don't want to disrespect the gay community at all. I don't. That's not my intention.
Yeah.
But every time somebody says something gay, you just say pause.
Oh.
Like when we at work, one of my coworkers' last name is Johnson, and another one of my coworkers' last name is Johnson. So we got a permit the other day, and they was like, "Man, we should just put one big Johnson on the permit." Look, pause. Yeah, stuff like that. You just pause.
Is that like no? Is that like no homo?
start using
Yeah, basically, yeah. But it's not as offensive. It's just pause.
I got you. Yeah.
I want to know what the club and music scene was like down here for you guys as like teenagers and college kids, you know, because I'm sure it was totally different than what we were doing up north.
Okay, so with me, I'm probably a little bit younger than everybody. I was born in '87.
Okay.
So by the time I got in the clubs, it was like early 2000s. So, but when I went to Utah, they still till this day play 90s music in the club.
That's awesome.
I was in the club. I heard, how you do that, Duff? Like, what the fuck, y'all serious? I'm talking about like nothing but 90s vibes in the club, in they clubs. It's
So
Salt
we got to
Lake.
go to Utah.
You got to go to Salt
Okay,
Lake.
Salt Lake. I got you.
I mean, it wasn't a. I mean, there was a Neo's in Baton Rouge on Burbank. There were more house parties than the club scene during in the 90s. I was in high school,
Right.
so there wasn't clubs didn't come until 2000s for me.
Okay.
But it was more house parties, and so the house parties it was a mix. I had friends that DJ'd. In fact, for my 18th birthday party, my mom, was like, "Hey, we're gonna have you can have a party. Your friend can DJ. I'm gonna get a daiquiri machine.
Nice.
Your stepdad's gonna cook a pastelaria. You can no more than 30 people." I'm like, "Well, we can call it off because if we having a DJ back then in the day, if you had a DJ, that was how it got out.
All
They
right.
probably had over about 200 people show up
Yeah.
at this party, and I was only sober one. Like even my mom and stepdad were drunk, and I can remember like people started trying to fight, and the DJ wasn't helping out. Started playing 3-6 Mafia. I bet you won't. I bet you won't, and I won't sing the rest of that song. But I'm like, man, yeah. So for me, it was the clubs didn't come until after the '90s. So it was more. I can remember going to parties and they played all kinds of music, at some point in time at every party you'd go to, somebody would crank up "Dinosaur" by Hank Williams Jr. And everybody, you don't know that song?
No, I don't know Hank Williams' music.
Yeah, Hank Williams. I'm a dinosaur. You should have
I don't
died
know
off a
that
long
song.
time before.
I know that, but what's the name of the song?
The one memory that I have of the club in the 90s is tragic. My dad was killed at a club in '91.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody
Gregory, I'm
shot him
so
in the
sorry.
club. Nah, but that's the only memory that I have of the club in the 90s. So
I got to recuse myself from this conversation because I was not cool enough to have gone to clubs while y'all were backing it up for the 99 and 2000s. I was playing Zelda, so I did not go to a single club or nothing.
Yeah.
So you're on your own on
I was
this
a
one.
club girl. We did a lot of clubs. Yeah, I grew up in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, so I was 10 minutes from Jersey, just over an hour into Manhattan, and then just under 2 hours to Philadelphia. So we did as soon as we could drive.
So what
we
it was
were
like?
hitting. Oh gosh, you go into the club, you get there you're not getting there before 11, and we would. Our parents didn't know we were going. They just knew we were staying at someone's house. And then at this point, there were times we weren't even 21 yet, so we're looking for like 18 to party clubs because it wasn't so much about the drinking, it was about the music, the dancing, the DJ, and just getting out there. Once we hit 21, though, that was totally different. But you go in around 11, and when you come out in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, the sun is just glaring in your eyes because the clubs out there don't close until like 6, 7 in the morning. So you're just going all night long.
I want to ask, and I know they probably want to know too. So were females backing it up in the club? Like
we were bumping and
Cash
grinding.
Money was,
Oh yeah, we were we were dancing definitely,
Okay.
and we were having lots and lots of fun. I mean, big name clubs like the Palladium, the Limelight, the Tunnel. The Tunnel was in a club in the underground in the subway system in Manhattan. So you go in and there's different subway tunnels and there's different theme rooms. Everything has like these major theme rooms, which was awesome. Palladium was like a big venue.
Yeah.
And I mean, just growing up with that. And then of course we had our local clubs. Of course we had our little downtown Main Street club, Rock On, Club Vogue, Long Live You. And, go into Allentown or New Jersey clubs. Those are smaller clubs. Like going into the city, those are for the big clubs. You went to Philly to rave. So raves, that was a whole other ball game.
Rave.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Oh, I loved raving, man. That's when I wore my metallic clothing.
you had the lights.
Oh yeah, the glow
yeah.
sticks. Yeah, definitely. So that was killer. And speaking of DJs, I mean, that was my whole scene. Like my first real boyfriend was a DJ, so I dated DJs from like 95 to about 2005, like dated or hung out with, and it was the same thing. It started in high school, and they started with DJing the school dances, and then once we got out of high school, it was, at the frat parties, it was at the local clubs, it was at local events, so.
Yeah, DJs was the coolest. I know when I was in school, before I started making beats, that's what I was trying to do, be a DJ. But it was oversaturated. The market was like how it is with rappers.
Even that changed, though. I mean, it used to be a little more to it, the DJ, and now it's, you got your laptop and, it's not. Granted, there's still people that
spin.
But that's changed.
I mean, we would, I remember going to clubs before the club that night, so that the guys could go and they can get their whole set and get all their records and everything together. And
I heard Shaq could do that. They said he'll pop up in Tigerland every now and then and fucking DJ.
Seen
for
videos
real.
of him doing that.
Oh,
He'll go to a lot
awesome.
of those EDM concerts and stuff like that. Yeah. Speaking of Shaq, I had a few of Shaq's albums too. Shaq Diesel.
I listened to one in the car a couple years ago, and it don't even sound like Shaq.
Can We Rock? What's up, Doc? I'm the hooper, hyper, protected by Viper. When I'm out the hooping, you better decipher.
Okay.
In other words, you better remember the lyrics.
yeah.
He fucking around.
That's awesome. Did you guys have school dances out here?
Ooh.
Yes. Okay, we got a yes.
The first
you guys
time
had dances?
I ever heard Back That Ass Up played at a dance was in 99 at Gonzales Middle.
Was it the clean version? Or?
It was the clean version, but I was surprised
The radio
they played it. I
Back
was
that
like,
thing
man,
up. Yep.
and like all the teachers felt some type of way because them girls didn't waste no time either. Like looking back,
They
man,
were
that was
just
platinum.
following instructions.
That's it. They started running to the floor. And all of us started easing behind them. Just. And then teachers were getting between us. Oh no, y'all can't be doing this.
Dance anymore. Can you pass me that water?
Yes, ma'am.
So when Juvenile was making that song, I don't remember who was making it. Was it Manny Fresh?
Manny Fresh. Yeah.
So the first time Juvie listened to it after it was all put together, it starts with that little dum dum dum, that little violins, whatever. And Juvie's like, take that shit out. That's the why you got that in there. He said you got to have that intro in there so everybody will hear it, and you got to give people time to get to the floor, because if it just starts with the song, it just starts with the song. But if you got that little build up in there. And people are like, oh, shit, here it comes. And it worked. And now when people hear that, it lights up all the white women. Oh, shit. They hear that song, and they're like, this is my shit. And they get out there and dance. And he's like, I'm like a gangster. I don't even do booty-shaking songs. And he's like, well, you're gonna, and it's going to be the best song you've ever done. And there it is.
Yeah.
That's the history.
I bet you he get mad royalties off Back That Ass Up.
Does
I
it?
bet you, because that's played everywhere.
Yeah, every
was,
goddamn wedding and anything.
Yeah, that was senior trip, 98. I can remember going in Panama City.
Oh,
that
that's fun.
played non-stop, and nobody cared because everybody
bouncing
listened to it. Yep.
And everybody knows it. I guarantee you right now, there's a 55-year-old woman cruising right now. Just, girl, you're working with some ass shit. You're bad shit. I guarantee you.
There's a lot of songs you only listen to at events, but you can casually listen to that shit and just on repeat, and it's a good song altogether. Let's talk about R&B. It blew up big in the 90s with Boyz II Men and TLC and Mariah Carey.
Ooh.
I will say hands down, that's my favorite genre, is R&B. And
Yeah.
I used to be the guy that, what was it, Time Life, when you could order the CDs or
Oh,
whatever.
like Columbia House and BMG?
Columbia, yeah,
Oh,
that
The
stuff.
little infomercials that used to come on at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I had 50s and 60s and 70s R&B, like
Oh, wow.
Otis Redding and Bill Withers and like those types of art. Like that is some music that I can always go back to and I can always listen to. Like when I made CDs, Napster, LimeWire, if you remember that.
Yeah.
I mean that. You could go from listening to Insane Clown Posse and then the next song could be Otis Redding. You know, I mean that's how
That sounds
my
exactly
CDs
like
work.
what happens in my car. And no matter what song I put on there, it could be Clay Aiken Invisible from 2003. The next one's going to be Hocus Pocus from my Insane Clown Posse. It doesn't matter. It knows.
Yeah, but R&B, going back to what you were saying, I mean,
Yeah.
that hands down is probably my favorite genre.
No one has hit them high notes like Mariah Carey since Whitney Houston could do it, but not like Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey was an octave above everyone, and
Yeah.
it was
Mariah
no one could do
Carey-
that squeal. You would sing along with her songs, and you would be like, okay, I can't do that shit.
No, that's true. But she reminded me of Minnie Riperton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minnie
she
Riperton got that
definitely baby Minnie.
range. Most definitely. But let me tell you about Boyz II Men. So I went to see Boyz II Men at Montage Mountain, a ski resort, in the summer. I think it was the summer of, I graduated high school in 96, so I believe it was that summer. And they had 3 opening acts. So Uncle Sam, couldn't tell you anything about him.
I don't ever want to see you again.
Oh,
Ain't
really?
that
That's
him?
Uncle Sam?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think so.
But you guys are going to know, we all know this next one. The original, yes, there were 4, Destiny's Child.
Oh, yeah.
So that was killer. And then next was fantastic. And then Boyz II Men performed for about 2.5 hours. So that concert was incredible.
And then she went after Eminem, and that was a bad move. Do you remember that? When Mariah Carey went after Eminem?
Oh,
that
yeah.
I forgot about that.
She did that Obsessed song with the guy in the hoodie, and I was supposed to be Eminem, and then
Yeah,
he went.
she was in drag.
Yeah, he roasted. He did a diss
You don't
track to
play
her,
with-
and
yeah,
he
Em.
used her own voicemail recording words in the diss to her. It was so ruthless, and then she. I'm not saying that ruined her career because she had a great one, and she comes around every Christmas for us.
She does.
I don't know if anybody's ever been able to like try to diss on Eminem, and
It's not gone well for anyone.
I know
It's what he does.
I
Yeah.
mean, MGK had a decent,
He had to switch genres.
but yeah. Well, I'm just saying when he had his comeback or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't, but like, yeah, that was just
It's
like
the
career
things that M
suicide.
say, man. M say some fucked up shit,
Oh,
man.
he-
M
And
said,
he's not even as hard as he used to be.
No, and
He
then
can still rap like a motherfucker,
Yeah.
but he don't go as crazy as he used to.
he did the same thing that he did in 8 Mile with MGK.
Yeah.
Like everything that MGK would say, like I'm watching 8 Mile on Minority Track.
Yeah, he used his own words against him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful.
He said you couldn't, because MGK said something about fucking Kim. And he was like, you couldn't fuck Kim in my flannel or wearing my sandals. Like, man, this dude, here's
As long as I'm shady, you have to live in my shadow.
Yeah.
Which was a literal word for shady, like the shade off a tree.
Right. Like, it was
Shadow.
a double entendre.
Yeah.
So,
So my favorite Eminem, there's a couple of them. Some that I didn't even catch until years later. On Kamikaze, he says, invite them in like a one a day. Invite them in, but he turned it into the word vitamin. One a day is a type of vitamin. I say, God damn.
yeah.
And then there was one I heard the other day. It was like, the only way you're ahead of me is alphabetically, because if you come after me, I'm coming after you like the letter V.
Yeah.
My favorite Eminem bars are the simple ones. Like, I love the song Drug Ballad because he actually put you there. Back when Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark, how we used to get the party started. We used to mix in with Bacardi Dark, and when it kicks in, you could hardly talk.
The man would take 4 syllables and do it like 35 times in a row.
And it still sounds good.
I couldn't do that no matter how much time you gave me.
Blue and Yellow, Purple Pills. Like the whole D12 album, that's underrated and slept on. That bitch was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 90s hip hop was Notorious B.I.G., of course. Anything Bad Boy. Yeah, oh, yeah. Rough Riders.
I didn't
Now
listen
know.
to much 90s rap at the time because my family's racist and I couldn't listen to black people music. So I had a Mystical CD and I had The Last Don by Master P. And I didn't want my parents to even know I had it. So, like, one of my video game case boxes, like I had a Super NES boxes, I would slip the CDs in there. That way they didn't see I had it. But that was the extent of my 90s rap at the time, was Master P, because that was big then in this area. But I didn't find out until, like East Coast, Pac versus Diddy and all that shit, until way later when I was working at Walmart and all my friends was telling me about the shit. You're like, you didn't know about that? I'm like, no.
East Coast, West Coast?
Yeah, he was cheated. You was cheated out of your childhood.
Oh, yeah. I lived it.
I'm
I was
sorry.
there. And I didn't get any of that. Yeah.
That was great freaking music. And Snoop, we can't forget Snoop.
Tupac.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah,
I don't know what to think about Snoop Dogg no more, because he went kind of hard, but he always had that soft, laid back delivery.
But
But
that
he
was part of
was
his
still
charm.
saying some
That was-
gangster shit though. But now, if he tried to release something, I wouldn't believe a word of it, because he's such a. I don't want to say a corporate sellout, but a little bit. He gets paid to do everything.
Hey,
He's smart.
Now, in his defense,
He's smart.
he might have sold out a little bit, but think about the people who he sold out and he's hanging with. He's not even a convicted felon. But
Martha Stewart is.
Right.
That's right.
You know, if you want to take it down, like really low key, he's still hanging with the gangsters.
That's right.
true.
Like, I bet you Martha Stewart got a terrifying aura. Like just being in the room with Martha Stewart is terrifying.
It's intense.
Like you ever seen her at those celebrity roasts?
She's a badass
She's
bitch,
probably a
man. You don't-
hardcore
you
bitch
don't-
when she's not on
exactly.
camera, like Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres was so happy on the show when she was an absolute cunt off when the camera was off to everybody.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's why she doesn't have a show anymore because it came out.
Yeah, she treated
Yeah, I
her
think
workers like
that's
shit.
what I was just gonna say. Yeah, she was really bad to her staff. Yeah. Oh, let's see.
She forgot her southern
Let's
ways.
see. Okay, so you guys talked about country. I had to keep quiet. I don't know much about country, but
We
I
didn't
do
talk
know-
about country,
You
barely.
didn't? You meant? Oh yeah, you just talked about. You mentioned
mentioned
Garth.
it.
Okay, I know it was
mentioned
mentioned.
some.
Does anyone in this room know anything about country music?
A little bit.
I know that my wedding song was Shania Twain. Oh, don't all. It was a great song. We're not together no more.
I got a few country songs that I really like, and I don't know. Do you classify Rehab as country? Is he country?
I don't know what that is.
Bartender really did it this time, bro.
It's hard to tell what country is anymore because it's so blended with other genres now.
Is he? Does he classify though?
Is
The
he-
bartender
what-
song?
Yeah, she stole
I didn't
my
think-
heart
I didn't
in the
think that
trailer
was-
park.
Well, yeah, that sounds
Okay,
country.
some of my favorite country songs, and there aren't many because I just hate. It's not that I hate country music because I respect it as a music art form. It's good at what it's for, and people love it, and I get it. But it's just not for me. Now, there's a Metallica song on the Load album called "Mama Said," where he sings about his mom who died, and it's delivered as a country song, and I love it. And then Clint Black redid the Eagles' Desperado song, and I love that one more than the Eagles one, and he countrified the shit out of it. You may be raining or whatever, and I don't even like country music, but I just love that shit. Now, I think a lot of what I don't like about country music was just growing up around the fan base and the redneck shitty fan base I grew up around. I think turned me off of country music. There was just a lot of shitty redneck racists in it.
I think
and
it just
that
made
turned
me
off a
really
too
little.
that.
depressed. Like the country music that I grew up around, like who sings "Give Me More Time"? Give me more. I want to say it's Hank Williams, but like all the songs that I got introduced to was kind of depressing. So
I listened to the old ones as a kid because my dad did. Like, there's a tear in my beer.
okay,
Yeah, that kind
What
of
about
shit.
shift work? I'm talking shift.
Okay, that's
work.
more like 2005, but yeah.
Okay, see that's what I got introduced
That's
to.
more than I know. I
Yeah.
don't know like squat about country. I know we took a trip to Tennessee and we went to Dollywood and the Grand Ole Opry to see some show, and my dad lasted 20 minutes and was like, "Pack it up, we're out of here."
Do y'all remember swinging? We're just a swinging, and then the women would go swinging. Me and my brother and sister, we used to sing the shit out of that. And every time we'd go swinging at a family event or whatever, they'd have a playground. We'd swing it. We loved that shit. That's about the extent of my country music knowledge.
So now, if I see any of y'all, minus school because he didn't chime in. Now, if I ever see you or Melissa with cowboy hats on and cowboy boots, I'm gonna say y'all fronting, bro.
Oh no!
All right,
Listen,
Oh
hold
y'all,
on.
bro, y'all not living like
To be
that.
fair,
This is-
I'll
yeah, I'm gonna tell you something funny.
I wear
Go ahead, Mike.
steel toe boots here. Those aren't cowboy boots, goddammit.
Okay, I feel like being that I live down here for so long because I've been in the South since 2012 now, and I feel like I'm just finally starting to get a little into my country era. And I went to Sand in My Boots last year, so that was awesome. I think a lot had to do with my friends because they're into country. And about 2 weeks ago, my YouTube Music sent me a notification, and it said, "We're redoing your playlists based on your recent listening recommendations or whatever." And then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 playlists down, and it says, hold on, I wrote it down because I'm gonna forget. It said something like I don't think I like country, but maybe I do, or something like that is the title of the playlist. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely moving into a little country phase here. Oh yeah, I don't usually like country, but So that's the name of the
Okay.
playlist it made for me. Now, and I don't know if this is country, and this is definitely not 90s, but I really dig some Tennessee Reaper and some King Ego and some Big Cuzza. And that's like a hip hop country. I've really been getting into that lately, and that is some
Hip-hop.
good shit. Yes, I've heard that. That's the playlist that I made in
what'd
my
you call
phone.
it?
Hip-hop. Yeah, that's what one of my friends at work told me. I was like, do you know about this? He said they call that hip-hop, Mel. So my playlist says hip-hop, and I love it.
So Charlie,
I've heard some of it. Where it's
Charlie Daniels.
Yeah.
What he classified? That's country, right? The
Yeah,
devil went
don't
down
know.
to Georgia to see if he
Yeah.
could
Oh,
buy
yeah,
some
yeah.
weed. It
Yeah.
was mighty fine. He was standing in line. It was excellent weed. and
But
weed.
what you call outlaw country back in the day versus like the pop country of today, completely different directions,
Yeah.
completely different messages, tone, artists. It's way different now compared to. They used to be like the bad motherfuckers was country artists. You know, like you wouldn't fuck with them. They shot a guy or whatever. And now, it's just anyone with a cowboy hat and an acoustic guitar and beats on beat 2 and 4. You got a country song, and it just.
The same thing with rappers. Anybody can be a rapper now.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I
Let's
remember,
talk about mumble
rappers
rap.
used to have to have backgrounds and rap sheets and shit or gang affiliation. Now rappers is my 7-year-old son could be a rapper if he wanted to, and he could talk about I'm from here, I'm from there, I'm sliding and this and that and all that. Like they don't even have to have credibility
Right.
anymore.
You probably picked up on it from our conversation so far, but I'm a fan of well-written technical rap where you rhyme this with that, but you snuck in this little internal rhyme in the same line and that kind of science of it. But now, no one's doing that.
Hey.
And you get mumble rap where it's just Thursday, what? What? And
Let-
it's just those triplets, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. 1 2
Can I
3
make
1 2 3
y'all
1.
brain work right quick?
Yeah.
I want to
Okay.
see how good y'all are deciphering these double entendres.
All right,
I'm
go-
not
yeah,
good
all
at
right.
that.
All right,
I need to
look,
program a rap beat to one of these buttons, and I'll just let you go.
and this is mine. No, I don't even need a beat because I want y'all to think on the words.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
Tonight's the night like Betty, right? Money right like Betty, right? I moved the rubble in the white like Betty. If Alicia got them keys, then ask me, I'm ready. We could do like Aretha and rock steady.
Ooh, that was good.
And if I break down the bars for you, it'll mess y'all up.
I caught all the
That
Betty
was
White,
really
Betty
good.
Rumble, all that in there, but I didn't get the Aretha and Rocksteady.
Okay, so I'm gonna break it down for you.
What's the
So-
reference?
So tonight's the night like Betty, right? So Betty Wright got a song called Tonight's the
Okay,
Night.
I didn't know that.
So when I said money right like Betty Wright, I was agreeing with myself. Money
Oh,
right like Betty,
yeah, yeah.
right? So Betty Rubble and Betty White, y'all caught those.
Right.
But the entendre is crack and cocaine.
Oh, Rob.
Betty Rubble, Betty White. If Alicia got them keys, then ask me I'm ready. The Alicia Keys song, Ask Me I'm Ready, but I'm actually talking about keys of cocaine.
Okay.
If Alicia got them keys, and we could do like Aretha and Rock Steady. Aretha Franklin got that song, Rock Steady,
Rocksteady.
baby.
Oh, see, now
See, that's the kind of shit I like, where you put
But-
in work and
Right, but if you think about
Over
it,
my head.
you got the keys and you rocking up the keys. So do like Aretha and Rock Steady.
they say that's what Eminem will do. He'll go and he'll put up he's got a whiteboard in his office, and he'll do like it's a puzzle, and he'll sit there and work on one verse all day until he gets every word
As a double entendre.
right, and every syllable is meticulously picked out for how it rhymes, where it's going to match this one. And
I do that with all mine. I'll
Yeah.
be damn like a beaver if I ain't sharper than a cleaver and
That's
smarter
right.
than a teacher. Like I can go all day with it and just beaver, cleaver, sharp, cleaver.
Right.
You know
Lil
what I'm
Wayne was
saying?
famous for that shit.
You know, Wayne was famous for those metaphors. He
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm
famous
saying.
for like liking ass. But if you want to talk like
I got
entendres-
division like a line between two dots.
well,
Division? Genius.
yeah.
He gets better than that. But I'm saying, when I first heard that, I said, woo-hoo.
His last stuff been kind of like I heard him on the What's Poppin' remix, and I was like, Wayne didn't go that hard. But then I like really listened to it again, and I was like, hold up, Wayne dropping some gems up in here. I can pass that bit like magic, yeah. Slap or slap, but get it past like magic. That was a double entendre because Magic could pass an AIDS test, but he could also pass
the ball.
AIDS.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could pass
that's sick. That's deep, man.
Yeah, like Wayne.
So on Eminem's Recovery album, Eminem and Wayne did a song together called No Love. And Wayne's was kind of slow, but it had some good jokes in it. But then Eminem did a line, it was like, when I spit on the mic, you'll still get roasted because Marshall's not mellow. And it was like a marshmallow
Mellow
roast
roast,
joke, and his
yeah.
name is Marshall. And it was like shit like that. And then that's what he's good at, and that's what I'm I'm a fan of that kind of shit where you took the time to craft that.
Jay good with it too, not Jay-Z. Jay-Z slept on with the double entendres. He just sounds so plain.
Yeah.
Like, and he makes you have
He don't
to
even
think
be
too
on the beat
hard.
sometimes.
But he makes you have to think too hard. Like with the Jail verse. If you ever listen to Kanye verse Jail, God in my cells, that's my celly. Made in the image of God, that's a selfie. But like,
you
he
can
dropping
take a
simple
slow
bars, but they gem.
You can take a slow one with like 3 syllables at a time, and if it keeps going, it's exciting.
I run bass, I jack, I rob, I sin. I'm Jackie Robinson. Like he got some gems. Man, think about it. Bone Thugs. Let's take it there. We none of us touched on Bone Thugs
No,
or
we
like
didn't.
Twista, like the fast rappers.
Well, Outkast, he was fast too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was dropping some gems.
Yeah.
International
He-
Underground. That's the sound when I come around. Like a million elephants, a silverback orangutans. You can't top the train.
Busta's fast too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Bust.
Oh, that's a good one to bring up.
And Twister.
Yeah. So who you think faster, Twista, Buster, or Bone?
I don't know enough about all 3 of them to give a good answer on that one.
I don't know Twista.
I know there's YouTube
Twista
videos
was,
that break it down by syllable per minute and shit like that. The syllables per second. There's YouTube videos that break every rapper's fastest one, and like Eminem had one was like 13 syllables a second.
I'm pretty fast too.
And it's very fast.
That rap guy was pretty fast.
Yeah.
My
Very
son
fast.
put me on that. That's
Now you
pretty
got me
damn
thinking
fast.
about who's faster between Busta and Bone because the sounds are so different.
But you
they're
gotta
both
add
quick.
Twista too, cause alright,
See, I
so
don't know. I don't think I know Twista.
overnight celebrity
Do or
and
Die.
Kanye West slow jams.
You'd have to sing some more, Gregory.
Are you gonna be? She say she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross.
Oh, yeah.
So Twista the second guy I don't know.
Okay. I still don't remember though.
Well, you gonna look it up on the way home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I am absolutely.
And you're gonna be like, damn, this guy's fast.
Can I come back to answer that question? I'm
Yeah.
gonna get back to you guys.
In the
After I
90s
listen
is
on.
where you started seeing like local slang into rap. Like that wasn't a thing. But, well, maybe it was a little bit, but one of my friends, Jamal Landry, he had a record label in Donaldsonville, and he was playing some of his music in the car, and one of his rappers was like, he started the line with, "We don't give a fuck, no," and he said, "You see how that dude ended the line with no? Mm-hmm. That's how you can tell that man is from Donaldsonville." Anyway, let's get back to alternative and 90s rock.
Alternative.
Because we didn't talk much on that, and that got big in the 90s. Not just grunge, but just rock altogether. You had Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Oasis, all that kind of stuff. I wasn't a big Pearl Jam fan until I got a cassette at, well, you're not going to believe where. Okay, so...
Kmart.
Yeah, that would be easy, but my mom was real overbearing when it came to what I listened to, right? I was a big math nerd. So I was in math counts, and I went to it was a math competition at Southern University, and it was the Gonzales Middle School, the best people in math. It was like 4 of us, and we went to that, and at the thing they had a big projection screen. They would have a math problem on the board, and I remember it was 13 times 15 minus 12 times 15. I immediately buzz in. That's 15 because you have 13 15s minus 12 of them. There's one left. The answer is 15. So I won that answer. I still remember it. So I won a Pearl Jam cassette tape of Versus, their second album, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I brought it home. My mom went through the book, and I don't know if you've seen the lining of that album. It's got voodoo dolls and blood and needles and drugs and shit. And my mom said, nope, and I never got to hear it until like years later. I got to hear it. I'm like, this isn't even that bad. Pearl Jam is one of the lighter bands.
That's horrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
Pearl Jam was not. Yeah, definitely.
they never really went that hard, but I was a fan of their work.
You suffered through child abuse.
Yeah, I feel
Couldn't
really
listen to
bad.
black people. I couldn't listen to nothing.
Okay, so Pearl Jam versus Nirvana.
Nirvana all day.
Nirvana.
Kurt Cobain, that's my guy. That's my guy.
What about you, Scuba?
I'd probably Nirvana.
Nirvana?
Yeah.
See, I say Pearl Jam.
I
I
mean,
think maybe it was a little.
if I had to say what I listened to, a lot of what I listened to was just based
Pause.
upon the mood.
So we had pianos in the EA band room, and back when Nirvana was big, everybody used to go doom 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 on the piano, and that's just a memory I have. Carry on. Yeah, everyone was cool if you could play that on the piano.
I learned how to play Snoopy in school on the piano. That's the extent of my piano.
I'm going to stop there before they sue me.
I could play a little bit. I'm pretty decent on the piano and the drums, but the favorite thing that I could play that I show off with when I get around people, you know, the Axel F. Yeah, I love showing
I used to do that one too.
Every time I get around people, they, oh, you have a piano? And Josephine
Your
Johnny.
party trick.
Oh yeah, and Josephine Johnny. I'll play Josephine Johnny all the
Was anybody else a Weird Al Yankovic guy?
Yeah.
He asked Coolio, just because he was a nice guy, said, hey, do you mind if I do that song? And Coolio's like, yeah, go ahead, bro, whatever. And he didn't know he was going to do Amish Paradise. And he said Coolio was heated about that shit. And he said, well, you told me I could. I've already released the album, motherfucker. What do you even do?
Can't take it back now.
So now the internet is just ripe with parodies. And that's the man who started it. And he's still doing it. He's still out there touring and everything else.
So what's your favorite Weird Al song?
I might just have to say Amish Paradise.
I like White and Nerdy.
That's a good one. That one's kind of fast.
White and Nerdy pretty dope.
Yeah, that was a well-written rap, actually.
Or I'm Fat. I'm Fat pretty dope, too.
I forgot about that one, too.
Yeah, that one dope. The video, everything was dope.
All right, so what's one artist that you wish you got to see live in the 90s?
That's easy. For me, that's Metallica. They don't ever come to Louisiana at all because they play big-ass stadiums. They're still huge. So they weren't coming to Baton Rouge. They might have went to New Orleans. I don't know. But they go around the world. So I'm never going to see them, ever. But
you can.
I'm not going to Seattle or whatever the fuck. So yeah.
I would.
Obviously, my favorite is ICP, and I've seen them a couple times. I even painted my face to go to the concerts and everything. But they're not as big as fucking Metallica is. Metallica, I'll never get a chance. But I wish I'd have seen them because that was their prime for sure.
Tupac.
Ooh, yeah. Mine would have been the Chili Peppers and Aerosmith. Would have loved to have seen Aerosmith.
All right, that's it for this episode of Treats from the Store, sponsored by 180 Pros, Preferred Loans, and Kiss and Makeup Full Service Studio. I want to thank my guest Mel Vega, my boy Greg the Goon, and Steven Scuba Allain. And as always, Dutchtown needs a Taco Bell. Thank you for listening.